If someone's vulnerable, it implies that they're at risk. In terms of prevent, that risk could be an abusive relationship. Someone with criminal intent recognising the vulnerabilities in an individual and exploiting them to their own ends. But what is that process? How great is the risk? How common is it? And how complex? I met with Chris Dean, a psychologist who leads a team within the Prison and Probation Service, to find out.
I think in terms of the process of radicalisation, I think a helpful way to think about it is like push and pull. There are circumstances or factors about an individual that may push them towards kind of a group or a cause or an ideology that is attractive to them. And then there's also pull factors, so there may be people or messages that are communicated to people that are attractive. It may be a point in their life where they feel that they want to be part of something that's bigger, more meaningful, that they can have a sense of significance or worth.
Can the process of radicalisation start as a good thing? It could get somebody off drugs or alcohol, or it could be built on friendship to start with?
That's often how it works, in that, yeah, in the early stages, it can seem quite benign, developing friendships, inviting people to certain meetings. But then as time goes on, then conversations may turn more towards particularly extremist ideas or views, and checking out with that person, well, you know, you believe this as well, don't you? You know, this is what we think you're interested in.
So at the start of the process, people may not realise they're being radicalised. They may just think, I'm being befriended.
And I think that's why a lot of people do continue down the pathway, because they don't necessarily look at it that way. And I think radicalisers, or people who are interested in recruiting people to their particular groups or ways of thinking, understand that and know that.
And what tactics do they use to radicalise someone?
More obvious ways in which people may do that is to make individuals feel particularly special. The threat of that being taken away can become incredibly powerful. So when someone in a group or even online says, if you don't do this, or if you choose to question this, well, you're not a true believer. Then suddenly that's the threat of being excluded, and that can be very powerful to people, hence why they may make some of those decisions to do things that they otherwise may not.
At its core, is radicalisation a complex process, or are there elements of it that are common to all of us? The need to belong, the wanting to please people in positions of authority, that sort of applies to everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah. At its core, I think it is a relatively simple process that other people may experience. So yes, that need for belonging, that need for purpose, that need for a sense of self-worth, I think are all feelings that we all have, and may compel us at times to want to seek out groups or ideas that resonate with how we feel at that particular time. If we can meet someone's need for belonging, let's say, or purpose in a different way, be that through a particular youth club, be it through a particular job, whatever it may be, that may be enough just to divert someone away from going down this path.
So how does the process of de-radicalisation work? At an early stage, in sort of a pre-crime stage, how should you do that?
I think what we know about some of the reasons why people choose to walk away from being involved or identified with extremism is that something happens that usually creates a sense of doubt or a sense of disillusionment about what they've become part of. Usually those things can come about by someone else having a particular conversation with them, something happening in their life that changes their perspective.
So simply sowing the seeds of doubt and getting them to question themselves is quite a useful thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that can be really important. Just questioning people, facilitating people to question themselves. They need to feel that they can trust anybody who they're going to have discussions with. They need to feel like they're going to be heard, they're going to be listened to. They've got to feel safe to have those kind of discussions. So if you can create that atmosphere, if you can create an atmosphere where people feel that they can talk, that you are there to listen to what they can do and to support them in terms of moving forward or doing things differently, yeah, that is incredibly important.